Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Sir Daniel here, and Q Points brings the topics that matter to the forefront. We've had several discussions around the unique magic of girl groups, and right now I'd like to introduce to you some new friends of the show. What happens when the South's 2022 Group of the Year and nostalgic R&B junkies form a girl band? You get ENV, a three-piece American R&B girl group that will have you turning on your stank face with the captivating lyrics, charismatic stage performance, and impeccable stage attire. Hailing from Jackson, Mississippi, Envy formed in 2007 in their high school choir, who all just couldn't get enough of Blaque, Destiny's Child, and TLC. They decided, hey, we want to be dope like them, so let's form a girl group. Now hailed as the 2022 Southern Entertainment Group of the Year by the Southern Entertainment Awards, their unique brand of entertainment fuses the nostalgia of 2000s R&B sound with a modern edge. Tight background vocals with stacked harmonies and girl group tributes that will have you locked in and feeling like you've entered your feel-good era. Q Points family, check out Envy. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure and honor to be joined by an up-and-coming R&B sensation. Please welcome to Q Points, NV. How you doing, ladies?
Hello.
Please introduce yourselves to the audience.
All right, I'm Fate.
I'm Essence.
I'm Big Trouble in
Big,
Randy.
big trouble in the building. So I'm full transparency, guys. When I found out about them, I was like, is the name pronounced ENV or is it pronounced Envy? So I just got schooled tonight that it is in fact Envy, but you said there was a story behind that.
Yeah, so the original spelling of our name was actually how it's spelled, envy. But upon doing like research and stuff, because of course, being an artist, you have to get a lot of things trademarked and stuff like that. And there was another band. They don't do the same type of music that we do, but they are a music band and their name was spelled out envy, like regular envy. So I was like, well, we didn't want to change the name. We didn't want to like do any of that. So we were like, well, how can we keep the name without completely changing our name? So we was like, just drop the Y, envy. So it's envy, not ENB. But we don't usually like when people say ENB, like it's cool. We'll just casually be like, it's envy, it's okay.
And that's a perfect response because as people are getting to know you, that's a great story to tell actually because a lot of people have had to a lot of girl groups that you guys have patterned yourselves after and grew up listening to, they had to change their names as well because like SWV, I don't know if you know this, before they came out, they were actually called themselves TLC because of the initials in their name, Taj, Lily, and Coco. But of course, they couldn't do that because there
Right.
was just a little band out of Atlanta called TLC that was already making noise.
Exactly.
Exactly. So tell me about you guys have been together for a long time since high school. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me about when you being in high school and how you discovered that each other likes to sing and you got together and made this thing happen as a group.
Yep.
Uh,
So Essence and I have always known each other like our whole lives. We've always known each other. I met Faith in high school because we were all in choir together. And Essence and Fate already knew each other, like growing up. They went to church together and everything like that. So it was kind of like a full circle thing. And like one day we were again all in the choir together, and one day we just started like singing together outside of like the choir. We were just singing random songs and stuff like that, and we were like, "Yo, why don't we do like be a girl group for real?" Now, a lot of people don't know the original Envy was 4 girls. It was 4 of us, not 3. But as time and everything went on, we had different things go on, and it ultimately just ended up being us 3. But all of us we always had a love for girl groups like Destiny Child, TLC, SWB are like our biggest influences, Brownstone. So we wanted to do something like that, but with us, but that's for like all sisters with all friends. We all love music, and we just thought it would be something really cool to do. And we formed in high school, but we didn't start actively doing music. I want to say until like was it 2017? Maybe?
It was 2018, 2019.
Yeah, we
Because it
didn't
was like,
actively start doing music
yeah, because it was around like COVID, but like a
Okay.
little bit before COVID.
before.
So yeah, so to fast forward to February 10th, this past February 10th, you ladies dropped a brand new single called Desire. Please tell everybody about it.
Well, I had originally started like Desire. I was just up in my room writing, but Desire is mainly about basically that one night where you go out and have fun with your girls and you just enjoy yourself. It's not like you try to go out and be like this here, but you're just going out and enjoy yourself, and you basically see this person that you're digging. Like you just have that eye connection, and you feel the energy in the room, but neither one is really saying something. So you basically like, are you gonna say something? Are you gonna start a conversation? This and that. And my grace is they really like put their stank on this song, because me, I would start something, but they definitely will finish it, like for real. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's how it started.
we love the song because it speaks of, like she said, it speaks about like she was just saying, you going out with your girls, you're not really expecting nothing, you're not on that, but you just so
Right.
happen to bump into somebody, and it's just like we all have had those moments. Like nobody can lie because we've all had those moments to where like we go somewhere and it's just somebody you digging so bad, and you just wonder, like, I wonder what like some temporary intimacy type stuff would be. And intimacy does not have to mean sex.
Sexual.
It could mean anything, like whatever your definition of intimacy is, that's what that is. And that's what the
Right.
song is about. And we love it so much is because it can resonate, even though we wrote it for like the girls, but a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people can resonate with it if you sit down and listen to the lyrics. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it's about. And it's really, it's smooth, it's chill, it's kind of fun, it's a little bop. Like we had people talking about
It's very
they were going to
contagious.
slow twerk to the song, and we like, wait a minute now, I want to see
Hey,
that.
listen, that look,
Right.
that might be a new challenge. You might need the market to be like, hey, do the
Exactly.
Desire challenge.
Yes,
If you could slow twerk to this, send us some
please do.
videos.
And that's crazy because somebody actually gave us the idea to like say that'll be a good challenge, and we were like, you know what? It might actually be, because I really want to know how you gonna slow twerk to Desire. Like,
Hey,
I want to
you
see
got you got confirmation right here and right now. Time to put out the Desire
it.
challenge. Do the Desire challenge right now.
Yes.
So, Essence, let me ask you this. While I was listening to you all talk about the song, about Desire, it sounds like it's well on its way to becoming a true anthem, especially a women's anthem, right? What are, and ladies, I want you all to think about your answer to this. What would you say is your favorite, like, girl anthem song that always gets you
Ooh.
hyped?
Ooh.
So my favorite is Salute by Little Mix. I love, but there's two. Can I have two?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Salute by Little Mix and Woman by Doja Cat. Um, I feel like it brings out not my inner domineering, but my inner fierceness.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm super, super passive. But like when I hear those songs, it's like I'm very, very motivated. I'm very like I'm on go. And like the lyrics behind both, it's like, if we're gonna be honest, like women, we go through a lot of controversy or a lot of
Mm,
conflict, or we're looked at all the time as a problem, especially African American women.
it's always been the angry Black woman, or basically we are pinned as if we're never good enough. So I like what both songs, even though it's a universal thing about women, period, women empowered, period, I'm all for it. I feel like we need more of that. We need to see more people uplifting women, encouraging women, because women do a lot in this world now. Like, women are the backbone for everything, and I think that it is time for the community and people to see that and respect that. So those are like my two women anthem songs.
All right. I'm here for it. What do you all have?
I would say, even though it's not out right now, but I would say our song we're working on with a special guest, Lady Nation. It's called
Oh.
Lady Nation. And
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm a Survivor by Dixon Child. Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, us women, we are survivors. Just like it said, we go through a lot of tons of things. Not saying men don't, but we go through a tons of things, controversy, and just going through life period with people trying to step on like anything that we do. Like, if you look online right now, you don't see too many men dramas. Like, it always be what about women.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always like angled in a sense towards us, like just like Rihanna at the Super Bowl. Everybody had something to say about how she got up there and did this and that. But I mean, I didn't know. Big Fool had to tell me. I thought it was a little bit. But it just goes to show you, like, instead of congratulating her on everything that she could do,
You focused
Mm-hmm.
on
tore
her
her
weight.
down, you know?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
focused on her weight
So
the entire time.
yes, and I feel
And
like with
I was
those two
just
songs,
like,
like we stand up for each other and we got each other back regardless, especially with Lady Nation. I can't wait until we come out with that.
Okay. Lady Nation. That
yeah,
sounds like an anthem. That's
It
a great
is
name. That's
It
a great
is.
so
name.
dope. It is so dope.
women's empowerment.
Um, Mine would be Independent Women by Destiny's Child and Salute by Little Mix. Oh no, 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 no. You said Salute. So let me Power by Little Mix. I just got through listening to it a few hours ago while I was at work because I was feeling like I don't be here. I'm tired. And I just put the song on like that instantly, like when they come on, they be the way Perry sings, like her voice is
Mm-hmm.
so powerful. And when she comes in, she's like growling. She's like, hold up. Like it's oh my God. And the song says, you're the man, but I have the power. And you know, like
Right,
we all saying, like we don't discredit men like at all. We don't,
right.
but at the same time, realistically, and a lot of men know it as well, like the world honestly would kind of be lost without women. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
totally.
But I love those two songs. The Independent Woman, you know, that song just it when it came out, it just
Right.
so much. And we resonate with it so much because, you know, as women, we don't want to be overly independent. Like we want to have somebody there, you know, beside us, you know, to hold not hold our hand. Let me not say that. We want somebody that's as strong as we are, you know, to stand beside us, but at the same time, we are women, we are independent, we are powerful, we can't do our own thing. So those two are like my like yeah, but all of that.
So it's so important that you said everything that you said because as a DJ, I know that a lot of women get underrepresented when it comes to music being pushed, and so representation is very important. So I think as a group, you all coming together is going to be as important to some little girls coming up as Destiny's Child was important to you coming up. But I want to stay there though and discuss the historic dynamic of girl groups, right? Um, they're so important to the culture. You know, it's going back as far as the Supremes, the
Mm-hmm.
Marvelettes,
Mm-hmm.
all of that, right?
Right.
But what made you? But we also know that girl groups typically have like historically have had their own special set of circumstances. You know, you get the rearranging of group members and whatnot. But with that knowledge of the uniqueness of girl groups and sometimes their circumstances, what made you all still want to get together and take this music journey as a group?
Well, we're all friends first. So that's first and foremost. Like we're all friends. And I think the fact that we are actually friends and we actually have chemistry and we do not compete with each other. That's like a big, like, we just
Right.
don't. And unfortunately, that's even in groups. That's how secretly a lot of them were, unfortunately.
Right.
And even with like the Supremes, for example. Now I know they had what they had going on. I'm not really gonna like go into that because we love the Supremes, Diana Ross. But when it comes to stuff like that, they decided to make it instead of the Supremes, Diana Ross and the Supremes, and that ultimately caused like a divide between them because you know it's. I think people look. I don't even think that was a business decision, right? Now if it was shady or not, we never know because we weren't there. But
Right.
in that, there was, I feel like that slight jealousy thing there, and everybody was just like, we don't want to do this. We don't want to. We don't want if we're not going to be the Supremes and not Diana Ross and the Supremes. We don't want to do it. And me personally, I just looked at that as, like I said, that was something that they did business wise because music executives and music people, they're going to do what makes them money. But regardless, like they're going to do what makes them money. But for us, like I said, we do not compete with each other internally. We don't argue with each other because we're all adults at the end of the day. We
Right.
all have different opinions and we find ways to respectfully address, each other's differences and opinions. And the second thing I think is we all just have a genuine love for music. And now in this current climate, we don't have girl groups, mainstream. We don't have them. So we want to, of course, be like the resurgence or the face of that because one, we're Black women, Black girl groups. That's what we grew
Right.
up on. And like you were saying earlier, we want to be what Destiny's Child was to us, to little girls now, or teenagers now, or young women now, because we don't have that representation anymore. So that's why we do it. We want to be that. We want to be. We want to be that for the girls.
I feel like to your point, about representation for other little girls coming up, and how the industry tries to pit group members against each other, especially women. Now, you ladies have been in 2022 were voted the Group of the Year by the Southern Entertainment Awards, and I wanted to ask you this when I knew I was going to be talking to you all. The Grammys was a few weeks ago, right? And there was like this huge controversy over award who got the award for album of the year, right? And I wondered, like, do the Grammys still hold the same weight to you guys as it did like to groups from the past? Because I'm just thinking, you all come up in the age where you can do a lot of things music wise a lot faster, getting your music out there, things like that. And when you have your connection to your fan base, that's more, it seems to be more important to groups of this era, yeah, than awards. But is that, I don't want to put words in your mouths, but when you see awards like the Grammys and whatnot, is that still important to you? Is that something for you to strive towards?
I think um, for us, like you were just saying, our connection with our supporters, we don't like to call them fans, but our connection with our supporters is ultimately the most important for us. Now, granted, is it great to be recognized for your work and be awarded for your work? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be awarded for your contributions to music or your art or your music and stuff like
Right.
that, because I'm not going to say that it is. If somebody, for instance, if the Grammys recognizes you, right, that's not the end all be all. That's not saying, okay, we are Grammy Award. Like, that's not, what solidifies you as an artist, I feel like. Your connection to your fans, the music that you make, the art that you make, the way that you are as a person, I think that is what solidifies you as an artist. And the awards will come, they'll come after that. But the Grammy situation, it was funny. We don't really like comment on that type of stuff like on social media because we don't want to have like people like
Mm-hmm.
Right.
but we personally we do think it's we're talking about albums of the year. Beyonce did have an amazing album. It was, oh my gosh, like it was amazing. And I only say that because we don't listen to Harry Styles. Like, I didn't even really know who he was. The only thing I knew about him was that Watermelon Sugar song. That's all I knew about him. So I can't discredit him because the
Right.
man actually had a good album, but we don't know that because we don't listen to that type of music. All we know is we stand Beyonce and Beyonce had an amazing album. So, and I think even with that, I don't really think she cared because Beyonce, she made history as the most
She
awarded
really did.
artist in ever. Like that in itself is crazy. And I don't even think she was phased by that. But I do think that they should probably do better about how they I don't know how their system works now.
Right.
But yeah, we think
How they go about it.
definitely
Definitely.
is the goat. Like, is the goat.
Right.
So then let me ask you this: what does success look like for Envy?
I feel
What?
like
I feel
success
like
looks like for Envy is when we have a very good support system, like without, like we said, we don't like to say fans, but we have that support system to where they understand our music and they get why we put out our music, the type of music that we do, and they love it. I feel like that's the ultimate goal. The fact that we can see a crowd full of people screaming our lyrics to the top of their lungs
yeah,
and enjoying it. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the ultimate goal.
I think like to an impact, a positive impact.
Exactly.
Um, because nowadays, like music is different versus like what it was back then.
No, we grew up, yeah.
It's very rare that, and this is no shade to any artist, you know, because you do what you do, you know, people gonna support regardless. But I don't think that it's as much of an impact. It's kind of like a lot of things are trending and not enough longevity. So I would pray that our music does have longevity, but also with the positive impact. You have artists like Michael Jackson, like Beyonce, and there are others too, not just them that have longevity. Like they produce longevity work, and their songs have meaning behind it. um like Michael Jackson was really, really heavy on revealing a lot of social conflicts. And Beyonce, same thing. And it getting more into women empowerment, more of self-care, more of self-love. And that's just the minor things that
Yeah.
some of these artists have done.
Right.
So I would think a goal for Envy would definitely be a positive impact. Um, just music with meaning now, you know, because
Exactly.
I think that's more important than anything versus just making a
Making
song and
something
putting
Song,
it
trend.
out there.
right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any meaning behind it.
But
Like,
something that people can actually relate to and feel.
yeah,
Yeah, that's one thing about us. Like we are very we like to think we're very relatable. Like we that's one thing about us. We are big on authenticity. Like
Yes.
mm-hmm.
anybody who knows us or anybody that's been around us, like they will say, like, them girls, like, we're simply like we do too much. So we like our music for that to translate in our music, whether we're talking about relationships or anything, we want to have that relatability factor in our music. And like my sister said, like those are goals that we have. And I'm gonna just throw out there that we want to be the biggest girl group in the world. Like I'm gonna just
Hey,
slide that on the
hey, you
bed.
gotta you gotta speak that you gotta speak that into existence. You absolutely
Yeah.
do. And what
Because
I
we can do it. We're very talented. And then, like I said, we haven't had any mainstream girl groups in years. So it's about that
Right.
time.
it's funny you mentioned that. So I was looking at, I was checking out your clips, and I saw the performance where you actually did a tribute to the Cheetah Girls, which I thought was super. It was smart. First of all, very smart, because that's a way to connect with your audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so what is for the people watching right now, what is a NV show like?
A tribute to girl groups first and foremost, because we feel like we have to pay homage to those that was before us, that
Mm-hmm.
paved the way for us. Because if we're going to be 100% authentic and honest, it is hard to to be in the industry as a group.
Yep.
And that, so we always like to pay homage to a lot, especially girl groups, female groups. Like we are here for that. So
Yep.
that's one
We
thing.
stand.
Yep. And if you notice, a lot of people, the performances that we've done, if people notice, if we have like if we have a set that's like 10, 15 minutes, or if we have more than 5 minutes, basically, because some songs are usually like 3 5 minutes long. If we have more than that, people will see that we always we are paying. We are doing some girl group song. Always, it will never fail, and I don't think that's ever going to change, because that's something that sets us apart from other girl groups that may be out there. Every single performance, if we can, we're attributing a girl group that made an impact on us personally. And that was so fun. Like, that was so fun for us to do, because we loved that song growing up. And then we like, why did we think, let's do that song? It was so fun to do. People, the crowd, like, everybody's like, oh my God, we haven't heard that song in years. Like, it was so fun to do.
It was.
And we give you personality, like, because like Big Trouble said, like my sister said, we're goofy, and
we like that,
but it works for us. Like, we're like, I know sometimes we get compared to TLC because of their personality. Like, they were very playful, very in their inner child, and a lot of times we live in our inner child. And this latest performance, like, we were really, really in our personality. Like, we were like having fun.
We really had fun.
It works for us. It really works for us. People gravitate to that. And I think it's just because, like, we're beautiful women. We have boys, but there's also another side of us that likes to authentically just enjoy what we do. And it's not always like yeah, right. You know how some things just come off like too put together, like
stiff,
fun and yeah,
a little
like
stiff.
And it's not like that with us. Like, we're kind of like, okay, y'all, let's have some fun, but we know that we are performing. So
right, and
gotcha.
It's so funny because my brother literally always, like, not all the time, but like most times, he's like, y'all stop playing, hurry, y'all gotta do that. We be like, well, we just trying to have fun while we rehearsing for that. It's like he's always fussing at us because we just like to have fun. And like my sister was saying, like, everything is so
it's so serious now and perfect. Yeah.
Like,
and they forget to have fun. Like, have fun in what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And so people lose track of that because it be business, but they lose also track of the simple fact that why you started this in the first place, because you enjoyed it, you
have fun.
You have fun. And it's funny you brought up TLC, because on Q Points we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop, right? Hip hop is 50 years old, and so we're just like this whole year we're just attributing a lot of the series and a lot of the shows to the essence of hip hop, the energy of hip hop. And I know you all are R&B, but I'm very curious, what kind of influence does hip hop have on you as a group?
Oh, a lot.
I feel like it have a big impact. Like, I'm a big fan of Notorious B.I.G. Like, I love it. Like, I feel like they have stories. They have stories. You feel me? Like, the stories that they told in their music, I feel like it paved the way for them. It really did. I mean, real life stories, like streets. I mean, stuff you won't even just learn, like some people from your parents. You have to actually get out there on your own and learn it through life. And I feel like
the realism and the
exactly. And they're showing you the life that they live.
Yeah, exactly.
What they experience.
Exactly.
Some of it, because we have a lot of songs that are kind of like hip hop influence, even though we are an R&B group, because we have some songs fake be rapping. We have some songs to where they're not released yet, but we have some songs where we're rap singing it that have like some type of hip hop element in addition to the R&B element. So hip hop and R&B are like the two, we feel like anywhere, but two genres that have made an impact on music, and it's just like chef's kiss. And with TLC, they had a lot of hip hop elements in their music.
Missy Elliott, oh my gosh, she's like, anybody that knows I am a knows I'm obsessed with Missy Elliott. And it's more than just the lyrics, it's her visuals. It tells a complete story. And there's another artist actually that is very much so inspired by her. I can't remember her name off bat, but when you look at her, you could tell that she's a huge fan of her, because she literally embodies, like, everything that Missy Elliott does. And I love Missy Elliott. She's so creative. Like, I feel like she was way ahead of her time
Yeah.
when it comes to her visuals and
Yeah,
everything.
and Busta Rhymes too, because his visuals on
Definitely
point.
Busta Rhymes. Those are like my two, like Tupac, Busta
For
Rhymes, and Missy
real.
Elliott. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness.
Yes.
Like,
Like
and I
my
mean,
goal is
a
to
lot of
work with
people
Missy Elliott
prejudge,
because
right? And a lot of people
she's
prejudge
amazing.
rappers. Like, I know because they have a different way of saying what it is that
Expressing
needs to be
themselves.
said. Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's just like, if you're actually listening to the lyrics, they're really speaking truth.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of
Just in a
R&B,
vulgar way.
but a lot of R&B today, I'll say, is mirrors that. They there's a lot of singers that a few years ago, a decade ago, you would never expect to hear like an R&B singer slip a four-letter word into their music, except if you're Millie Jackson, and you
Yeah.
and but I think that has a lot to do with the way people are just people are very straightforward these days, and they like their music very straightforward. And I feel like it seems like you guys, that Envy is on its way to putting Jackson, Mississippi on the map again, because you all have a huge music history. Like, in preparation for this interview, you got David Banner is from Jackson, Mississippi. Cassandra Wilson, enormous jazz musician,
Mm-hmm.
is from
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, Mississippi. You've got Dear Silas out of there. There's a lot of
Yes.
great talent to come out of Jackson. How how's the roots of Jackson, Mississippi? How does that inform you as a group and as singers?
So one thing I love is Mississippi is literally the birthplace for music, literally. Especially like being on blues and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi is
Yeah.
like the birthplace for all of that. So for us to
Yep.
be from here and from the capital city, it means so much to us because we can literally like, yo, we come from like music. What music started here? What do you mean? But no,
Right.
for everything, I feel like it's deep rooted here, and we have so many talented people here, and like you said, so many talented artists, older and newer, have come from Mississippi. So for us to be from Mississippi and trying to, bring more attention to the city is just absolutely amazing, and it like warms our hearts because a lot of these artists are from like bigger cities like Atlanta or like Texas and stuff like that, but we don't really have too many people coming from where we're from. And like I said, that's something that we want to bring out to the world too. That hey, Mississippi, we got a lot of talented people here.
That's true.
I love that. So, ladies, we're coming up against the time, and I really enjoyed this time speaking with you. Please let everybody know how they can get their hands on the new single Desire, and how they can keep up with Envy and follow your career.
So first of all, um we're big on Instagram. I'm sorry I do that sometimes. We're big on Instagram, like most we're more active on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram at ENV the group. All one word, ENV the group. All of our social medias are the same: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
YouTube, TikTok. Desire is in the link in all of those bios. And then we also have other links within that link that takes you to like different things that we're doing. So, like I said, if you want to know anything about us, interact with us, and anything like that, Instagram and Twitter are the places to do so. And make sure y'all go check out Desire. It's a
Um,
lot. Period.
It's about, you heard it from the ladies. I've got Fate, Essence, and Big Trouble right here with me, DJ Sir Daniel, on Q Points. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me and to our audience.
What's cool?
I wish you absolutely nothing but success, and
Thank you.
hopefully, when you guys blow up, you'll come and see us
We
again.
coming back and forth.
Absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Peace.